Oh, would you prefer me to refer to you by? Oh,
Chris is fine. Stand up, football fans. Trying something new today. A little half-hour show. I've got a newer YouTube channel on the channel, The Hub. This is your first face reveal, right?
outside of my channel, yeah. My first one was when Eli got benched. I was like, I have to do something real quick, and I just had my phone on me, so I was like, you guys are seeing my face now. But outside the channel, this is the first one, yeah.
That's awesome. The Hub is a diehard Giants fan. What's going on, Victor Jimenez? I am doing a new show where I introduce a new Giants YouTuber, a new sports YouTuber, whatever it is, but predominantly Giants every week, and hopefully you guys could hear him. Everybody hears him okay? Everybody hears him okay? I was going to do it edited, but I said, you know what, I got a half hour before I go live rather than a half hour video. Let's just go live for a half hour. Say hello to everybody in the chat. What's going on, Hot Take Hockey, Alex Sports, Fun with Education, Omkar in the house. So tell me a little bit about your channel. And tell me what made you want to start YouTube, what made you fall in love with the Giants, things of that nature. Tell me a little something about your channel.
Alright, as of right now, my channel is more of a podcast style type of Giants talk channel, right? I'm just focusing a lot on the New York Giants, what I think they should do, my reactions to their games, what I think they should do before games, all that stuff. Just very, very Giants focused. Eventually, I want to expand to New York sports because I'm a diehard Knicks fan also. I love the Rangers and I love the Yankees. But right now, all Giants related and podcast style. I got my thumbnail up there, got some music in the background for you guys to listen to as I'm talking. As for how I became a diehard Giants fan, it's actually kind of a weird story. I'm from South America. I'm from Guyana, right? But I moved here in like 2011, and which was the same year that the Giants evidently won the Super Bowl. And as I was getting involved with American sports, I was like, well, I live in New York, and the New York team that's doing good right now is the New York Giants. I'll just go and support these guys.
Right.
And as the years went on, I just got more and more ingrained. I'm like, man, I love this team. Like one day it just hit me. I'm like, yeah, I love this team, yo. I cannot go a football Sunday without watching my Giants play if they're on the TV. I have to watch them play. So in a way, it's like I got sucked in at like the best moment possible. The last time we won a Super Bowl, and then got engraved. Went back, watched some old games from other seasons. I watched games from 2008, 2007, found them on YouTube somewhere, and it just happened from there on out.
That's awesome, man. That was a great time. What's going on, Cowboy X Factor, MH in the house? Thank you guys for being here. By the way, his link is in the description below. Chris is changing every day. I don't know what you mean by that, Omkar, but the link is in the description below. Do I look bald? No, I got the bad camera on right now, so I cut my hair, but no, I got the bad camera on right now, so the hair might not look great right now. But it was lagging before I went live, so but yeah, his link is in the description below. He's a huge Giants fan. He's always been a great supporter of my channel, and I actually think he has really good content. You're doing a great job over there. I really enjoy your content whenever I get an opportunity to watch it. And what made you decide to start YouTube in general? That you're just so passionate that you said, I want to talk about my Giants. Like, what's your goals on YouTube? Things like that.
It is definitely a little bit of that, but also for me, as I was getting more and more into football, I want to say a couple of years ago, like I started like observing anything and everything about the sport because I wanted to know all that I could about my team, so I could make when I have conversations with my friends, I could inform them about stuff. And one of them actually jokingly said to me, "Hey man, you should like become a sportscaster or something." I'm like, well, there is one close thing second to that called YouTube, right? And then I saw guys like you and Kid Blue and Bad Dog. You guys were doing such a great job just going on there, giving your own take, your own opinions, nothing that's cookie cutter like what I see on First Take, what I see on Undisputed. And while I do respect those guys on there, they do work hard. There's, a lot of times I say to myself, it feels like they're just reading what's off the script and they're not giving their true opinions and stuff like that. And I'm like, I feel like I have a little bit something of my own, a little 2 cents to add that, people would want to hear. Maybe people would agree with. And so that's what really motivated me to do it. And my biggest goal for the channel is to eventually get to that New York sports level type thing where I could maybe do it full time. I'm not sure, but maybe I could just put a lot more time into it and do stuff about the Knicks, do stuff about the Rangers, stuff about the Yankees, along with my New York Giants.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's great to hear, man. MH, what's going on, my man? Thank you for tuning in the stream. I am not staring at a wall. I am staring right at the Hub. MH. But thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And GOAT, I do think his channel is great. Tell me what you think about the Giants now going forward. Obviously, we've got 6 more games left. We start off 2-8. This year's old Giants to address. And yeah, give me some thoughts on that.
All right, I would like to preface this by saying I would never go out there and directly cheer for my team to lose, okay? Right. I would never do that because I don't think it's in me to go out there every Sunday, look at the team and the players that I love and say, guys, perform horribly so that we lose this game. But I do think it would be in the best interest for us to get the better draft pick that we can get. And I don't like to use the word tank because it has such a negative connotation to it, but that is essentially what I'm saying. I'm also not going to try and cover up my opinion. I do think we need the better draft pick, and the way we do that is unfortunately by losing. That doesn't mean I don't want to see improvements. I want to see a lot of improvements in coaching from Pat Shurmur and James Bettcher. I want to see better time management out of him. I want to see similar stuff to what we saw, I think it was in the second half of the Detroit game where he opened up the playbook. He started calling a lot more diverse plays. I want him to mix up the run game a little bit because right now all he's doing is running Saquon up the middle as though he's a power back like Ezekiel Elliott or something. And while every now and then Saquon can get those runs up there, he does more of his damage on the outside, right? Saquon is a lot more elusive than he is a power back. So I want to see him mix up the run game a little bit. I want to see a bit better time management. You know, the example everybody leads to was calling all 3 of your timeouts before the 4-minute mark just a couple weeks ago, which was absolutely a terrible decision. And that's something that Pat Shurmur has been struggling with since he's been here, time management. I remember last year in the Titans game, part of the reason we scored 0 points was because Shurmur did not manage the clock at all to give us a chance in that second half of the game to score anything. And from Bettcher's side, I want to see more younger players out there. Like you said, the season at this point, you know, anything could happen on a given Sunday. We could, for all we know, in 6 weeks' time, we could be 8-8 or something. Anything could happen on a given Sunday. But realistically, the season is lost. So I want to see more Julian Love out there. I want to see more Corey Ballantyne out there, more Sam Beal. I want to see you put these younger players out there so that we know what we have on the defensive side of the ball, because I really feel like James Bettcher is not sure with what we have on that side of the ball, and that's why our defense has been struggling. He's not sure how to run it because he doesn't know what he has in these players.
Right.
That's what I want to see for the rest of the year.
I completely agree with pretty much everything you just said. I can never root for my team to lose, just like you said. But we definitely need to see Julian Love specifically. I think he's going to start this week by all accounts. He's getting first-team reps. I definitely want to see the New York Giants this year really get those rookies more experience. And this is the time to do it. You're 2-8. You're not going anywhere. I also don't necessarily agree with rushing Sterling Shepard back. I don't know what they're going to do with that. He's had 2 concussions already. It seems like he wants to play. Evan Ingram's trying to rush back to play. Show the damn TV. We're already getting trolls in the chat. I knew that this is going to be a trolly thing. Not a lot of people in here because it's midday unannounced. But thank you guys for being here. I'm trying something new here. What's going on, Rogue Dog? Some nights it may be more prime time at night, but I'm trying to establish newer YouTubers to help grow their channel and talk Giants football. Where did your channel name come from? Hot Take Hockey wants to know.
Oh, the Hub. All right, so this is not exactly age appropriate, but we all know there's a different type of hub out there. And my friend jokingly said, "Yo, what if you make your channel that name?" I was like, not a bad idea. It is a well-known name, you know. Thinking marketing-wise, I'm like, maybe people will click on it just because they're like, "What does this guy do?" And then it kind of stuck. And then eventually, I was like, maybe I could make this like a hub for sports, rants, and entertainment, like an entertainment hub.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then it just stuck. I was like, you know what? Yeah, man, the hub. And also, there's like one other channel on YouTube, I think, that has that name. So I'm like, you know, it works out on all accounts. You know, it's kind of catchy. It's very short to remember, all that. And yeah, that's sort of where it came from. It really came from a joke between friends.
That's a good, and it gives you the, what's going on, DJB? Thank you for popping into the stream. It gives you the ability, I guess, to talk broad sports. What's going on, Chris? Thank you for tuning into the stream, my man. And by the way, anybody that is new, go on into the description and subscribe to the hub, because he's better known as Kashendra Ramrop. You see him in my chats all the time. Great supporter of mine, and I really do appreciate his channel. I think he's got a great channel over there, and he's a great New York Giants fan. Now, you mentioned that you're a Knicks fan as well.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Why?
Oh, man. It's tough right now. But it's always tough being a Knicks fan.
It's been tough for longer than I've been alive. It's been tough to be a Knicks fan. Like, yeah. Man, you would know definitely better than I would. The last good season we had was probably in the '90s, maybe earlier
Well,
than
we had
that. I
that
have
one
no
year with
idea.
Melo where we won 54 games, but yeah,
That is true. Yeah.
consistently the '90s was the last time that we were consistently good in a year in year out. It's tough to just be a New York sports fan right now. I mean, unless you're a
Hmm.
Yankee guy, I there's no good teams in New York. The Mets aren't that good.
Right?
The Knicks aren't good. The Giants aren't good. The Jets aren't good. It's just tough in general to be a New York
Yeah.
sports fan.
And people always say, it's very random, but people always tell me, "Hey, man, you know all sports are rigged, right?" I'm like, "Well, if they were rigged, you would think they would rig it for one of the biggest markets in the nation,
Right,
right? But
right, right,
all we
right.
stink. Like no matter where you look, the Yankees, they might be good, but I'm gonna be honest with you, with the talent they have, I'm calling it that they're stink because they can't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? In the playoffs, they always fall short and whatnot. But Knicks, man, if you do want to address that really quickly, I guess. I like the direction they're going in. They're not executing everything perfectly. I do think we should give Fizdale a little bit more time. That's just my personal
No,
opinion.
no, no. A lot of fans think that. A lot of fans
Yeah,
think
so I'm like, I don't think we should be calling for his head yet or anything, but realistically, what did we expect this year to win? Like to actually go to the playoffs? Like we had disappointments technically in free agency by missing out on KD and Kyrie. I love RJ Barrett, but you could argue he was a disappointment because we didn't get the first pick to get Zion. So it's like, what did you really expect realistically for the season, right?
Yeah,
And so
I thought my personal and what's going on in New Jersey, Jake. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. Lake Nona, thank you for being here. Moose Kamal, thank you for being here. Iverson Vlogs. My personal expectations going into the year, I was not expecting playoffs, but I was expecting a team that I thought could come in and compete for the 8th seed because they did add some established veterans. They added a Julius Randle. They added an Elfrid Payton. They added 6, 7 established pros that I thought would have made it a much more competitive team than it's been, and maybe they will. But their schedule coming up is brutal, and I think that the New York Knicks are headed once again for a bottom 5 or 6 record in the league. And with the new lottery rules, who knows how it'll play out? Because if you finish with the 5th worst record, it's pretty much the same as finishing with the first. I think first
yeah,
you get like a 14% chance as opposed to like an 8. So it's
I, and
not.
I never liked the lottery rules in general, even the old ones.
Yeah.
And part of that is because of what happened this year. We should have gotten the first. That's just my opinion. We should have gotten the first pick, and then we end up with the
I
third. Like I just
understand
never liked
why
the
it's
rules.
instituted though, because in basketball more than any other sport, one player makes that much of a difference. Like LeBron James, right, or whatever, Michael Jordan, and teams are more prone to tank in basketball than any other sport, and that's what the lottery is designed to do to try to make it so teams don't intentionally lose basketball games. So I do understand the lottery system, but I do think it needs to be, I guess, perfected a little bit better than it has, which is why I think they tinkered with it. It's just the Knicks' luck that the year that they lessened the odds for the worst record, we finished with the worst record.
Right? Is No, I'll change that so it's just New York's luck
Right,
because
right,
that's happened to the Giants in many drafts. Like we wanted to get Jack Conklin a few
right.
years back. Tennessee took him away from us. We wanted to get, I think it was Dante Fowler. I'm not sure. The Jaguars took him away from us. I think that was 2015, and then we ended up going with Flowers. I don't know what the year was, but the year we drafted Flowers, I remember that we were trying to get an edge rusher that the Jaguars take, and I think is Dante. I'm not wrong. I might have to check that. But you could go on and
Well, it's
listen.
every year. It's several years where they screwed up in the first round. It's not just
Yeah.
that year, right? Justin Pugh was a miss. I mean, so many missed years with the Giants' first round picks. Hopefully, Daniel Jones is a hit. Hopefully, Saquon Barkley stays healthy, and hopefully, DeAndre Baker gets his head on straight. That's another play we really got to
Yeah.
look at this second half. And by the way, guys, this is gonna be a short thing. This will probably be what's up 4:09. I got work at 5, so probably gonna go till about 4:30. And then we're going to wrap it up in about 20 minutes. But just something I'm trying to get started. And I thought it'd be cool to go live, get an opportunity to go live on the channel. I thought it'd be cool for the hub. What's going on, Stel? Thank you for tuning in the stream. But DeAndre Baker this year, I think, has been so disappointing. And it's not all his fault. The coaching probably has something to do with it, trying to make him something that he's not. They've played him a lot in zone coverage. He's looked completely lost. He came out, said, his things that he said about the playbook. He is ranked the worst cornerback in football right now. How much do you think of that?
Wait. Worst cornerback, like just straight up out of all the cornerbacks they're playing, or like starting?
Per PFF, he is ranked 126 out of 126. Out of
Wow.
cornerbacks that have gotten enough snaps to be qualified. Now, do you think that is more his doing or more the coaching staff? Or do you think it's a combination of both?
Well, the fact that I did not I did not know that, and I did look at your video today. I guess I must have missed it.
I didn't
But
mention. I said he just had a 32 grade. But
okay,
yeah,
okay,
he
yeah,
is in
yeah.
fact the lowest ranked cornerback.
Well, when you put it in that, like, before looking at it, I could have said a multitude of things, but when you put it into that type of perspective, right? It makes you feel really bad. It's like it makes the disappointment level skyrocket because it's like he was a first overall pick and not just any, well, not first overall, but he
First
was a first
rounder,
round pick,
yeah.
right? And not just any first round pick. We traded back up into the first round to get him, right? So they must have seen something that we didn't see or something that is not being played out on the field right now because you just don't trade back up into the first round to get any player.
Right.
That's compounded by the fact that he was the first cornerback taken in that draft. And beforehand, I think in a couple interviews, he was saying, I believe I'm the best corner in the United States, like, in college football. Like, he said that multiple times. And the guy, like, hasn't let up a touchdown 2 years. There's so many things that were going for DeAndre Baker before he stepped onto the field. And now that you mentioned he's ranked the worst, in PFF out of qualifiable cornerbacks, it has to be both him and coaching. There's like no one person I could blame. Because you point your finger at somebody, three of them is pointing back at you, so I can't point it to one person, but it has to be on both of them. Because I do agree with you, I do think they're trying to make him something he's not, or I agree with what you said earlier, because he does not play zone defense well. He's really good in man coverage, better in press coverage. He reminds me of oh man, I can't remember this guy's name.
Are you thinking of the guy that played for the
He
Raiders?
played for the Jets or I don't know, Raiders, but he played. I can't remember if it was the Jets, but alongside Revis. Like
Cromartie?
Cup.
You thinking about
Yeah.
Cromartie?
A little bit, yeah. And he was good in one he was good in one either man or zone, but was terrible in the other.
Right.
I can't remember the name, right? He reminds me a lot like him, and I'm saying to myself, maybe they're trying to teach him by fire or something, like throw him in there, let him fail in zone, because ultimately he's still a rookie. That's the one reason I'm not giving up on him yet. Rookies are supposed to fail, in my opinion. They're supposed to make all their mistakes now, learn now. And I'm thinking to myself, are they trying to get him to learn, trial by fire, let him do everything bad now? And at the same time, it's like, why are you doing that? Because he's clearly terrible in zone, and I don't know if that's something that can be fixed in one off season. And then there's the fact that the blame will go on him with the comments about I don't know the playbook, and I would put that more on him than I would on James Bettcher, because as a player, you're supposed to do as much as you can to learn the playbook, because there's other players on the team who can. There's other rookies on the team who do know the playbook. So it's like there's a lot of blame to go around. But to be ranked that low, the lowest of the low out of qualifiable cornerbacks,
it's bad.
It really brings things into like just a new perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's really bad. He hasn't created a turnover. What's going on, Dark Demonic? Thank you for tuning in the stream. Bobby Woodruff in the house. What's going on? Savage Boz, thank you guys for being here. Karambite, thank you for being here. I mean, it really is just it's a new level of bad when you really see that he's 126 out of 126. How much he struggled in zone has certainly been a factor. On the bright note, Dexter Lawrence is the highest PFF grade, not just the rookies, of anyone on the Giants.
Yeah.
So Gettleman hit there. I think Gettleman did a good job there with Dexter Lawrence, and I was not in favor of that pick on draft night. I'll be the first to say it. I wanted the edge rusher that ended up going to Washington, Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
But Dexter Lawrence can be a really good pro for the Giants, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they got with him going forward.
Yeah. One thing about Dexter Lawrence, if I guess I would toot my own horn a little bit, on draft night, I made a immediate draft reaction video, and out of all of our first round picks, Dexter Lawrence was the only one that I truly loved on draft night, because I saw a lot of Clemson football. I don't watch college football like whenever it's on, I turn it on. But it just so happened that year I saw a lot of Clemson football, and one of the players I noticed was Dexter Lawrence. I actually thought he was going to be a top 10 pick, in my opinion. That's how good I thought he was. And one of the reasons was because a lot of people don't notice, because that Clemson line was stacked with, a lot of players that were good in college. It was very stacked. So I don't blame anybody for not noticing him. But when he was there, he was making a lot of push in the pocket. And I thought he would bring that to the team. And he is bringing that to the team. Hopefully it could improve on another level, but he's already really good. The reason I loved him is because I just saw this dude could push the pocket. I was like, I know he's going to be a great disruptor up the middle. Maybe not an Aaron Donald style, which is what seems the trend that the NFL is going in. A more thinner, stronger, more agile defensive tackle. He's not that, but he's a great mix with that and the old style of defensive tackles. And that right there is an amazing combination if we could fully tap into his potential. I love Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm completely with you on Dexter Lawrence. I'm a huge fan of his. And thank you guys once again for being here. Don't forget to go into the description and subscribe to the Hub. Love his channel over there. Why do we suck every year? That is a great question, QWERTY. Well, we have sucked for the last 7 years, outside of 1 year where we made the playoffs. And you know what? I mean, I hate to say it. I say it all the time. Jerry Reese has a lot to do with it. Bad draft after bad draft after bad draft after bad draft. You have to blow up the team. That's what happens. And that's what the Giants and Gettleman did. Now, whether or not people agree with what he's doing, that's up for debate. But when you draft as poorly as Reese did, I mean, do me a favor. Everybody in the chat, tell me one good player in the last 7 years that he drafted outside of the first round, other than Landon Collins, who was like the first pick in the second round.
I'll up you one on that question. Name him, just not even a good player. Name one first-round pick from Reese that's still on the team.
There isn't, right?
Was Ingram? I mean, Ingram was first round.
Ingram.
Okay. Maybe I just shot myself in the foot. But other than that, even other than that, right?
Yeah, Ingram.
It's like first rounders are supposed to stay on the team.
Right.
If Ingram is the only one and he's the most recent one, that's still bad,
Right. And he may not be on the team after next year, right? Because he's a free agent. I think he's due to make $3.4 million next year, and then they might let him walk for a supplemental pick, much like they did with Landon Collins. But when you look at Jerry Reese's draft track record, that's why they're as bad as they are. Odell's not on the team anymore, DJB. I mean, you look at some of the guys Gettleman got. When is the last time Jerry Reese drafted a guy in the 5th round? I think it was 5th. They got Slayton, right? When's the last time Jerry Reese...
Slayton was 6th.
6th round.
But Connolly was 5th.
Connolly was 5th. When's the last time he drafted anybody outside of the 1st round that's as good as Darius Slayton?
Darius Slayton is amazing.
Yeah. So, for all the knocks that Gettleman may or may not receive, his drafting has been on point. You can't even debate that. I mean, this year alone, he had more productive late-round picks than Reese had over the last 7.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Conley looked to be the goods. Darius Slayton is the goods. So, we're headed in the right direction, but it's just going to take time, and this year's free agency is going to be a vital part. And speaking of the free agency, I think we're going to have about $70 million to spend, thereabouts. After that's just my expectations. What players in free agency do you want the Giants to target specifically?
Well, first we're gonna have to take care of players on our team that we want to keep that will be free agents, right? So I'm actually still on the fence, depending how much Marcus Golden wants. I don't know, man. I would love to re-sign Marcus Golden as long as it's on a doable contract, right? Because he's having a great year. He's having maybe a career year, you could argue, but he's not worth, say, Shaq Barrett money, in my opinion, who's somebody that I do want to target. And then again, that's another person. It's like, you've had one good year. How much more do you want them to prove, or do you think they proved enough already to start targeting them? But I do want to target Shaq Barrett. I would love to keep Marcus Golden. I don't know if Clowney's locked up by the Seahawks, but he would be an expensive buy if we do target him. I'm not sure if he's locked up by the Seahawks.
I don't think he is yet. I think he's still technically a free agent. I expect
he's still technically.
Yeah. I just want to say hello to Rudy. Yeah, Rudy. I didn't think we'd get a lot of people. This is something new I'm starting, and it was just that this was really the only time that we could have done it. And I've been wanting to try to get the Hub on the channel for a while. This is something new I'm starting, where I'm trying to bring on a newer YouTuber once a week, bi-weekly, whatever it is. Hopefully more so Giants YouTubers, and try to expose them to the Giants community. So it's just something new I'm trying. Normally it's going to be more at night, prime time. But yeah, it's just the first show of what will be many, and I'm sure I'll have the Hub back on the channel at some point. And will the Giants sign Corey Coleman? No, I don't think so. Moose.
I do feel sorry for Corey Coleman. He looked like he was going to be somebody good for us. Unfortunate injury, but I mean, we got Darius Slayton as a way, I guess, weighing that out. Going back to the free agency thing, that on the defensive side, I would target a pass rusher. On the offensive side, I do have to look into it more. I would not target Jack Conklin, as good as he is, because of the injury history. If there's any good O-linemen out there, like I said, I have to look and see. I try and target them, but it all depends on what they plan to do in the draft, honestly. Like, if they plan to go and draft a good pass rusher, then target the offensive line and vice versa.
Yeah, he's got really good content, Rudy, and I'm with you. Another guy that I've looked at is Costanzo from the Colts. He's a little up there in age. He's a tackle. He has a PFF grade this year in the 80s. He's a very good offensive lineman. He's part of that Colts offensive line. Who knows if the Colts let him hit the open market. He is 32, though, so it is possible that they do, based on his age, and they try to replace him in the draft or whatever. That's a guy on a short-term contract. Maybe I give a look on a 2 or 3 year deal. I'm not giving him a 5-year deal, but maybe on a 2 or 3 year deal, I think that's one guy you want to take a look at. Darrell Williams, I was shocked because I was looking at him. I know the Giants were looking at him last year to play tackle.
Yeah.
He's got a 58 PFF grade, and he's playing guard. He's not even playing tackle.
So maybe we dodged a bullet.
Yeah, I think we dodged the bullet, and that's a guy. He only signed a 1-year deal, so he's available, but that's a guy I steer clear of. Does not look to be the same player off that injury. Conklin, maybe the second year off the ACL next year, he gets back to his old form. A lot of people have argued that. That's a guy that you may want to look at. And I love Schobert, the middle linebacker from the Browns. That's a guy that I have my eyes on if he becomes available. Those are some names that I'm really looking at. But the Giants may elect not to spend the bulk of their change in free agency this year and just save up and save that money to extend a guy like a Saquon Barkley or a Daniel Jones down the line if they don't see it to be fit to sign these guys to long-term deals. They may go the Marcus Golden route, per se.
Yeah.
The 1-year bargains. Bring them in and get rid of them the next year.
And I would be all for that. Now that you bring it up, that's a very smart way to go about it. Because if you go and there's not many people you want to sign, maybe they want to avoid another Nate Solder situation on both sides of the ball. They don't want to sign anybody too old because, maybe they come in and, hey, maybe this is the season they drop off. That's always a thing in sports. You never know. And, age correlation, there's no direct correlation, but it is always a possibility the older the player is. Like Antoine Bethea, for example, he had a good year last year, comes in, he's absolutely garbage this year for us. Stuff like that. Maybe they're trying to avoid that. I would love for them to save up the money, use that to extend players. Because honestly, the best way to build an O-line has been proven in the NFL this decade and decades before is to build through the draft. Same thing with the pass rush. Now, you could argue we've been trying to do that, but we haven't gotten a first-round pass rusher in God knows how long. Like Lorenzo Carter is a project. O'Shane, he's been good for the value, but hasn't seen the field that much. So I would love to get either an offensive tackle in the first round or, a pass rusher in the first round.
Yeah, I'm completely. I think those are the only. I don't want a wide receiver. A lot of mocks I've seen are bringing up CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. I stay away a wide receiver. That to me is, first off, it's not near as important as a left tackle or an edge rusher. I put those much higher on my areas of importance. As good as Jerry Jeudy is, I don't want to use a top 3 or 4 pick on Jerry Jeudy. I want Thomas. I want the edge rusher Young, or I want Thomas. If we're picking that early, that's what I want. Now, if we're picking 7 or 8, and you want Jeudy and he's there, have at it. But not if we're picking where I think we're going to be picking. And when you look at the Giants' remaining schedule, it's kind of hard to see where we get more than 3 wins tops. You got 2 very winnable games in the Redskins and the Dolphins. But then you've got the Packers. You've got the Bears in Chicago, which is winnable. Trubisky might be out. From what I read, he might be playing. I don't know. But either way, those are 2 pretty tough games. And then, of course, the Eagles twice, who we haven't beaten since you've been born. So that's so that's what you got to worry about there. But I don't see us winning more than 5 games, 4 games probably. And if we win 4, we're probably getting that 4th pick, maybe the 5th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. It's hard pressed to pick out any wins there. Like you said, the Bears maybe, but honestly, the Eagles, I don't see us beating them until we have like an established good team. Because even when we are good, it's hard to beat the Eagles. Like it's like they have a curse on us or something. They just got our number. No matter we're good, we're bad. They always beat us at home, at Lincoln. It don't matter. But the Bears would be the only other winnable one other than Dolphins and Redskins. And even then, you still got that ferocious defense. But yeah, man, I see us picking like 3rd or 4th. I mean, we could even trade down. Like, there's so much you can do when you have that high of a pick, right? You could even trade down. Maybe Miami wants to have 2 of the top 3 picks because they have a multitude of first-round picks. Give us those first-rounders, Miami. I'll go with that. What I mean? Get some more draft capital or something. Yeah. But I really see us.
That's a potential. That is something that they could do. That's something that a lot of people, myself included, in 2018, wanted them to do. I wanted them to trade down out of that 2 pick, being that they didn't want a quarterback. I love Saquon Barkley. But if a team came and offered 2 firsts and a future second, something like that, I wanted the Giants to entertain that. And they might be in a very similar situation this year, depending on where they're picking. Because if a team wants to move up and get a Burrow or get a Herbert or whoever, a quarterback, the Giants might be in that spot with the opportunity to trade down and get a ton of picks. But I think if Chase Young is there, they got to take him.
Yeah. Do you this really popped in my head just now. I saw the other day an article as I was scrolling through my phone that Chase Young was like arrested or on charges, some type of legal charges or something. I don't know if you know anything about that. Maybe that
Yeah,
could
he
snap
was.
stock or
He had to sit out 2 games. From what I heard, he's
something.
playing this week. Though it was originally 4 games, but I think he's back this week. So I think that's past him. It's not going to affect his draft stock. I mean, I wish
Oh,
it would. Maybe he falls to us at 5 or so, but
yeah.
I still think he goes top three.
There's always a chance like a Josh Allen situation could happen again. Dude falls to 7.
You
You
never
know, who
know.
knows?
You never
You
know.
never. But the reason I asked that is because I'm not sure the full story behind it, but the Giants' new direction seems to be avoiding players that have any type of like bad history, I guess you could say, or any type of controversial thing because they want the new locker
Did
room,
you
the new
say
move.
new direction? That seems to always been their direction. The Giants
But
the Giants are a no
yeah,
nonsense organization. They get rid of
that
Burst
is true.
the second he
That is
shot himself.
uh,
Yeah, that's just the Giant way. They like to they're a very conservative organization. They always have been. But I think they still go with. I mean, if he's there, the Giants have to go young. I mean, you get an opportunity to take. What's going on, Clocks? Thank you for tuning in the stream, man. He says that Gettleman still sucks. Yeah, and I agree with you, Sam Borowski. Another great subscriber of mine. Thank you for being here, buddy. We're only gonna be live for like another 4 minutes. It's just something new I'm doing. I'm trying to add some new flavor to my channel, and this guy's always been a great supporter of mine. I want to get an opportunity to have the hub on the channel. This is what fit for us. What's going on, King Trizzy? Thank you for tuning in the stream. Gross Matos, I like a lot. The edge rusher out of Penn State. Depending on where we're picking, I think he's round 8, 9, 10 in most mocks. That's a guy I'd be looking at. But if anybody has not done so, go on into that description, please, and subscribe to the hub. He puts out really good content. You will not regret it, man. What's going on, Zay? Thank you for tuning in the stream. What's going on, King Envy? We're going to be closing this out in like 3 or 4 minutes, but I just want to give you another chance to promote your channel a little bit. For anybody who may have just popped in, tell them about your channel. Tell them about what you plan on doing with your channel going forward. And what jersey you got on? Is that Shockey?
this is the throwback red Shockey. If I could stand up and show you, I would. But yeah, this is throwback Shockey.
Oh, you got the red. See, I'm not a huge fan of the red jersey. You like the
Oh
red jersey?
really?
You like
I love the red jerseys. I don't know why, but it's just because we do so much blue. But our colors are red, white, and blue, man. America. Our colors are all three, so I love
right.
the red jersey.
Yeah, but yeah, go ahead and just real quick tell I never. Well, I'm going to work after this Giants freak, but yes, I grind on YouTube. Something new I'm trying. We were gonna do it edited. I was like, screw it. Let's just go live. Let's just go live. So we went live for about a half hour to promote his channel a little bit. So, but yeah, tell everybody who might have just popped in what you want to do with your channel going forward, and yeah, tell them a little bit about your channel. Promote your channel a little bit.
Got you. All right. Well, guys, if you love talking Giants and you love to hear opinions that are sometimes unpopular, but at other times the right things for us to do, check out my channel. Right now, it's very podcast style. I have my thumbnail up, some music in the background for you to listen while I talk. Eventually, I will move into more, face, with my face at the bottom right or something like that. But right now, if you just want to listen to something on your way to work, you don't have to keep your eyes on the screen. I'm your guy. I got really to my own horn, I got really good content out there with Giants, what we should do before games, what we should do in the off season, reaction to those games and all that, recaps. Eventually, I want to expand to New York sports, but right now, very heavily Giants focused.
There you go. So am I. I try to do Knicks and Mets when I can, but I'm predominantly Giants as well. But yeah, I mean, I think he's got a great chat. Oh, Bavid. Bavid. What's going on, Rafael Puentes? He says, "Is this Gandhi?" Bavid says, Bavid just messing with you. He's a troll. He's a troll. What's going on, Lake Nona? Thanks for popping in, my man. But thank you to everybody for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Yeah, the Hub's got a great channel. He's a great supporter of mine. You probably see him in the chats all the time. It's Kashendra Ramrup. Been with my channel for a while. He's been with a lot of the Giants content creators for a while.
Yeah.
You were on Kid Blue's channel. You did a live with him, right?
Yeah.
Or was it an edit? I don't know if it was live.
It was edited and then he put it up like a couple days after. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you've worked with a few Giants YouTubers before, and he's trying to get his channel off the mat. And exactly, that's what matters most. He is a Giants fan. He's a diehard Giants fan, and I think he does have great content. I wouldn't have him on the channel if I didn't think he did. So keep up the great work on your channel, man. It was a pleasure having you on. I would talk for another 3 hours if I could. I got to go to work, and then I'm going to be live again tonight with Bad Dog at 10:30 talking Giants. This was just the only day we could get this going. This will be a more regularly scheduled type thing on Friday nights or something going forward where I have a new guy on every week. I already got a couple of guys in mind, but I wanted to have the Hub on first because I think he's got great content, and he's trying to get that channel off the ground, man. So Thanks for coming on, man, and I'll let you have the last words.
And thank you for having me on. I don't know if people noticed, but Chris here and Kid Blue, other guys like that, but they're a main inspiration for me and my channel. They put out great content. If anybody's in the chat, surprisingly, I'd be surprised if there's no non-subscribers in there. Subscribe to him. He's probably the best Giants YouTuber out there, no cap. You see, he got the haircut because you guys told him to. Don't let him fool you thinking he got the haircut on his own. He listens to his subscribers more than anybody I know, man. But Chris, thank you once again for having me on. It's been a pleasure, been an honor, and I would love to do this again, man. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again sometimes, man. I loved having you on, man. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. JJ Trilla, Rudy T, Giants Freak. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for always showing love to the channel. And I'll see you guys tonight at like 10:30 talking Giants. But have a good night, guys. Have a good night, guys. Good day. Good night. What am I saying good night for, Hub?
I mean, you know what? It's in New York. It gets darker earlier now. Who knows? It's nighttime, basically.
All right. Have a good day, guys. Have a good day, guys. Thank you guys for being here. And don't forget to subscribe to the Hub. Link in the description below.